Yep. All right, good morning, profitable traders slash upcoming profitable traders. How are we today? How is the market treating us so far? I hope we're all fine. Can all hear me? Let me know in the chat box so we can proceed with today's TDA. Please kindly signify in the chat box if you can hear me. Loud and clear. All right, Mr. Su, I see you. Okay, great. So just going to proceed. All right, starting off now, I have not really done TDAs recently, so some of us might not know me. I am more of a commodity currency trader, so the pairs that I look at are AUD USD and NZD USD, and that's what I'll be analyzing with us today. So we're going to start off with the DXY as usual to see what we. All right, hi Miss Vivian. So on the DXY, our weekly time frame, right, we can clearly see that we are bullish. Price came, broke this level, went all the way back up, and now our price action is currently on a significant level on the FIB. So if we flip this level from point A to B, just going to do that so you see exactly what I'm talking about. So fibbing from point A to B of the DXY weekly time frame price action, you see that price is currently at the 78% fib level. Now, something I like to do is most times if I want to see the exact point where price is, I decide to go on the line charts. That way I see exactly where the candlesticks are and not just the wicks. And if you see where we fibbed using just the candlesticks is a bit higher than where we currently are using the line chart. So I'm going to adjust that. Right. Now switch back to candlesticks and we can see that we are at a significant level on the 78.6% fib level. So we're seeing more bullishness on the DXY. Looking at the daily time frame, now this is something I noticed, which my colleague mentioned yesterday as well. You can see that there was some sort of volume imbalance here. So what do we expect the XY to do? We want the XY to trade back into this volume imbalance and then continue to buy. So long-term basis for the DXY is a bullish move, short-term is a sell. On the 4-hour time frame, you see we still have a bit of gap to go below. Now there's two things I see on DXY. One, it's that price trades into the volume imbalance and jumps off, continues the buy trend, or it trades below to come clear all of this liquidity that's gathered here before it continues the buy. Regardless, we watch and see what it does, and we go with the flow instead of trying to force our analysis on the market. So currently, the XY is strong, long-term, short-term, it is a buy, right? On the daily time frame, just as we said on the 1-hour time frame, intraday basis, like we said on daily time frame, we see that we still have a bit of gap to go below. So yeah, we're just going to be following the XY gradually to the downside. The number of weeks we still have isn't that much though. If you're counting from here to here, we see it's about 20-something pips for the XY to trade into this volume imbalance, and then we should see the buying move continue, right? Okay, so as a recap, the XY long-term bullish, short-term bearish. Let's look at AUD-USD now. On the weekly time frame of the AUD-USD pair, so we can see that we are our major structure is to the downside. Major structure to the downside, minor structure to the upside, and this is what I mean. You're seeing relevant break of structures to the downside, right? And then you look at the most recent swing that happened and you see that we had structure break above this relevant level we had here to the upside, right? But you failed to take out this level. So AUD-USD has failed to take out this level. Could this be the leg that will come and give a final push that will break AUD-USD to the upside? Or will AUD-USD trade below this level that will mark here, retest, and continue selling? We will watch and see. On the daily time frame, using a line chart, you can clearly see, sorry, we're just going to switch back to this. So using our normal candlesticks pattern, price came, retested, from some sort of double bottom. And we know what happens with double bottoms, right? It serves as some sort of support. So we see price already started to react based on that level. We saw resistance at this point turning into current support. But pay attention that we're also looking at the fair value gap on the AUD/USD daily time frame, which is right here, right? And we know the rules about fair value gaps. Two things: it's either it fills 50% and continues selling to the downside, or it takes up the entire fair value gap and before it continues selling to the downside, right? So currently we're looking at more of bull moves on the AUD/USD. If you're fibbing this entire swing on the weekly time frame, you see that price is currently at the 50% fib level, which is a very powerful point for us to want to be interested in this trade. So we see price currently 50% level. Is it going to go up? Is it going to break below and continue selling? We'll watch and see and follow the market. On our 4-hour time frame now, so fibbing this level from point A to point B, price is currently going to form its point C, and it's already very close to the 50% fib level, although it has not held yet. How do we know the fib level is going to hold? We want to see candlesticks, not just wicks. We want to see price test that level with relevant candlesticks and then begins to form breakout structures on the lower time frames like 5 minutes, 15 minutes. Then we know that, okay, this fib level is currently holding, and so of course we'll go along with what we're seeing in the markets to ride that trend, right? So intraday basis, just as we said, price is now testing exactly the 50% fib level. Remember what I said about the line graphs, the line charts? We can easily switch back to see the exact point where the candlesticks are holding, and you see that price is very close to the 50%, but it hasn't held. Why do I say so? There's still a bit of gap between this level to this level. So will price come and test 50% fib level for us to continue the overall major structure of AUD/USD downside? We'll watch and see. Is it going to break above and go to the 61.8% fib level before it continues going down? We will continue looking out and take advantage of what we see in the market. So AUD/USD is bearish, a bit of price movement to the upside. Whether it's going to test 50 or 61.8% fib level before it continues down, we'll know, and then we'll ride with the trend. And you see that this is also in confluence with the DXY. So we said DXY, long-term buy, short-term sell. If this continues to buy to the 50% fib level, and then before you eventually start selling, you see that we are in confluence with our analysis on the DXY. Looking at NZD/USD now, NZD/USD and AUD/USD is just like GBP/USD and EUR/USD. They're very similar. They have very similar price action in the market. And you see that the analysis on AUD/USD and NZD/USD are going to be almost identical, with one just having to move faster than the other in most situations. But when you look at NZD/USD, we see clear structures to the downside, major structures, and of course our minor structures are to the upside, just as we said on the AUD/USD pair. So for switching to the line graphs, you see this level came, tried to buy, but it failed. It didn't even get close to taking out this level. And for trying to fib the most recent swing on the AUD/USD, price is currently around, it looks like the 38.2% is going to hold, right? Let's flip to the line graph to see more specific movement. So drag it down to exactly where the candlesticks closed, right? So price is around 38.2% fib level. It still looks like going to the downside towards the 50% fib level. And just as we had mentioned on the AUD/USD, it's either price respects this fib level, you know, 38.2%, even though most times we say we want to see 50% level hold or 61.8% level hold before we continue that trend. In a strong moving trend, most times the 38.2% level is what holds, and it just continues to move from there. So how do we know? Again, I already mentioned that the fib level will hold or not. We want to see breakout structures on the lower time frame in accordance with our overall weekly bias, and then we know that that level is holding. On the daily time frame, now there's something I noticed about this daily time frame. If you notice this here, there's a high here, and then it came and formed another high here. What is the probability or the probability that price is going to trade and form another neck here to give us some sort of head and shoulder pattern. Is there a probability of price coming all the way back into this fair value gap already market? If it does, it might just trade into there, and of course we then have our head and shoulder pattern, which would then continue the NZD-USD sell, right? Looking at the 4-hour time frame now, you see a bunch of, look at this range that NZD-USD has been ranging, but eventually broke out of this range here. So is price going to trade into the daily fair value gap we marked? We're just going to be very careful in how we trade. We're not trying to force ourselves into the market. Again, we are only seeing what we need to see and taking advantage of what we see. Now, on the intraday basis, fibbing our most recent swing, right, from point A to point B. You see price is currently reacting based off the 38.2% dip level. We want to see price come, and because this buying move we're currently seeing right here is not in accordance with the overall bias. So we want to see price at least straight to 50% dip level or 61.8% dip level before we continue the sell on the NZD-USD. Okay, so how do we choose point A? Now we're looking at the graph, right? Or sorry, a chart. We're looking at a chart. You see break of structures to the downside or to the upside. Now, when you see obvious pullbacks on your charts, just like we saw here. So we saw this entire swing, then we saw obvious pullbacks from here. You draw it from where you see the beginning of the obvious pullback and drag it down to the other point. And that's how you have your point A to B. So this, if you look at price action, you see that there was some sort of withdrawal from here all the way to the downside. This in itself is a swing, right? If we look at market milk right now, you'd see that NZD-USD is a bit weak. AUD and NZD is a bit weak, and USD should have some sort of strength. So we're just going to check that. I always check here on the 1-hour time frame to see my intraday bias. So you see USD is currently strong, AUD is weak, and NZD is weaker. This is where our sentiments play a role as well. So for us, we use sentiment on the floor. Most times you're looking at, we call it the commodity sentiment or commodity value flow model. When you're looking at that, you'd see that NZD-USD has a reason why it's the weakest between it and AUD-USD. So yeah, just in accordance with what we just said on our analysis, NZD is weak, AUD is weak as well, and USD is also strong. Also, never forget that we have fundamental news that supports these markets, and we never want to lose sight of that, so we're not caught off guard, right? So today, you see we have a number of high impact news coming out on the yen, and then we also have one coming out on NZD, right, which is the CPI. So if this CPI news comes out higher than expected, we should see more bull moves on the NZD-USD. And if it comes out lower than expected, then, but this is around 10:45 p.m. So if you want to trade the market, you still have a bit of time to go before this high impact news comes out. And that is it for AUD, NZD, and DXY. Please let me know if you have any questions so far. Any questions so far? So a colleague of mine also trades NZD USD here on the floor. That's Demola. What's your bias on NZD USD today? Yeah. Seeing is all right. All right. Online community, what are you seeing on AE? Did you have your own bias as well? Are we in line? Are we in sync? Or you're seeing something else in the market? Let me know. Tell me in the chat box. Hi, Moyo. Okay, so I'm just going to take your silence as no questions then, and I'm going to invite my colleague, Lekon. All right. All right, Tayo. So Lekon is going to come give us analysis on gold and, of course, yen index as well. You're very much welcome, Moyo.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Morning, good morning, good morning. Now we're just going to quickly have a review of what happened yesterday. Yes, I'm looking short. No, I don't know. I don't. I don't mean trouble this morning. All right. Good morning, everybody. Once again, good morning. Now, looking at our analysis yesterday. Yesterday was actually a sweet day for gold traders, provided you follow the trend, and we bought at the same time we also sold. So it was a sweet day yesterday. And what is our bias for, well, how do we get the sell and also how do we get the buy? First, in the morning after TDA, when I came to check the chart yesterday, I discovered there was a very clean entry for the gold buy yesterday. So, and the moment it delivers the buy, just came straight to deliver the sell also. You get it now? Yes, so this is yesterday's move. This is yesterday's move. I want us to see yesterday's move. Yeah, this is it. So yesterday, remember our common pattern that we trade, the head and shoulder pattern. So we can see yesterday, we look at it on the 15-minute time frame, and we are still going to go back to the 5-minute time frame too. So on the 15-minute time frame, sorry. So yesterday on the 15-minute time frame, we can see that this is the shoulder. We see price broke out of this level yesterday. This is this. So this is more of a sweep. And yesterday, we just have this box here, like waiting for price to come back into this region yesterday. Like we see that. And the SL is less than 20 pips, like around just 18 pips. So the moment price just came and entered this zone again. If you are there, you see it on your chart. If you go to 5 minutes, you see it more clearly. And that was a very clean buy to the upside. So just get your about 100 or 110 pips to the upside. Now, when price got to the upside again, gave a very clean entry for the sell again too. And that's what we are seeing here. Give a clean entry for the sell again, and that's what we are seeing here. You can see this sweep at this top here. This is the sweep, this is the shoulder, this is the forceful break to the downside, and price came back into this fair value gap here. You see it now. This is the shoulder here. So if you follow that, this is just a recap of our trade yesterday. So after the buy, we see clearly the sell too, and that also delivers almost about 150 pips again. You see it now, this is it here. So we follow it to the downside. Now, after that again, if you are the type that overtrades, around 8 p.m. yesterday night again, another entry came again, another, that's just good for you. The day is going to deliver, it will just give you back to back, and the day is going to stab you too. It won't just stab you once. It's going to do it like, just lace. So yesterday, then when the buy entry shows up around 8 p.m. yesterday, this is it again. So this is the shoulder, this is the sweep, and this is the new entry again. You see it here. So that's around 8 p.m. and that one delivers all the way to the upside. Now, remember our weekly overview of gold is that we are going to see a sharp move to the upside. And when it gets to let us see it on the daily time frame. I'm coming, please. Now, this is it. We're actually expecting gold to do something like this from our analysis. Now, from our analysis, we are expecting gold to buy all the way back into this level here. Can we see it? Into this fair value gap here, because this is a very clean zone we marked initially before. Like this shoulder here, we want to see price comes back all the way to this level. When price get there, then we can easily follow it down again. And if we are selling it to the downside, where are we selling it all the way to? We are selling it all the way to this level here. This is where we are selling it to, all the way to this zone here. However, remember, we are always informed by the sentiment and other fundamentals that are coming out. So that gives us a clear view of what is really going to happen in the market. So moving forward today on gold is just, let's see, price is still has a lot of, move to the upside than to the downside. So we just see one more rally to the upside. Now, if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, this is one of the things I'm looking out for on the 1 hour time frame. You see, so we still expect price to come all the way. You see this fair value gap somewhere around this place here. Yes, we still expect price to come all the way to that level, because it broke this low forcefully to the downside, and we expect it to come back all the way to this level. That's around 2048 level. Then we can easily still short again. But if you don't see price rally to that level, and you check your 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, and you see that pattern, that our box pattern, can easily follow it to the downside. Remember, you use it and get as much as you can, even if it is 60 or 70, and if it is 100 pips, it's just a normal move on gold for it to deliver that for you. All right, and use your proper risk management strategy, right? So let's look at the yen basket now. Yesterday also, we were expecting the yen basket to long yesterday. We're expecting yen basket long yesterday. And that's exactly what played out in the market. Remember, if you look at it on the daily time frame, this is what we see on the daily time frame. We're expecting price, if you got the email of the weekly analysis, we're expecting price to react from this order block, so that yesterday should be a bullish day, and moving forward like to Wednesday. So we should see a bullish move in the market till Wednesday. And that's what happened yesterday. If you look at it on the 1 hour time frame, yesterday was a bullish day for the yen, and we can see how price jumps up. Even this morning again, already spiked to the upside. Now, the move boss has been waiting for, is looking out for yesterday on GBP JPY. Even me too, I'm trying to shook my eyes into it. Happens around 7:15 this morning. And if you look at GBP JPY on the, remember where we marked? Yeah, this is it. Look at it here. The 1 hour time frame on GJ. Now, there's a level we marked here. It's going to load now. Good. This is where we marked here that price should get to. But remember, boss said we should be patient, because price may spike all the way to the top. And we can see that's almost what happened yesterday. Get it now, but we are looking to short it from this place. Now, on the lower time frame, if you look at the 15-minute time frame, we already see a clean entry. This is our low, this is our shoulder, this is the sweep, this is the forceful break. Price came all the way back into it sometime, that's around, that's during the Asian session, yeah, that's around 5:30 a.m., but it came to give clean entry more around 7:15 this morning for the sell, and that sell just collapsed to the downside. See it now. Now, if we look at it, that's on 15-minute time frame. If we now want to look at it again, where is the new entry? We can just go to, let's check the 30-minute time frame if we are going to see another entry there. But looking at it right now, it's more like the market already moved. But we just go and wait for the lower time frame for that pattern to show up again, and we can easily follow it to the downside when it shows up again, that pattern. That will give us a very clean entry again. But if you are waiting for it to happen on this lower time frame, you can just be checking your 5 to 15-minute time frame to see if that pattern comes up again, then we can easily follow it. But on 5 minutes, this is the clean entry for the sell this morning. It's around 7:15. So if you are here around 7:15, you have taken this sell, and that's the move for this session. It may still happen again. Let's see what the markets give us for the day. Now, remember, we are still expecting some data from on JPY today, tomorrow, into this week particularly. So we are expecting those data. Let us be informed so that we won't just take some irrational decision that at the end of the day, just see a spike that will take everybody out of the market. So give proper attention to the news coming out, and at the same time, be informed of what is going on. All right. So if there is any question, let's take it as quick as possible. Good morning, sir.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. So yes, that move, I missed it for obvious reasons. I was saying I hope it doesn't happen during Asia. It didn't happen during Asia when I was sleeping, but oh well. Well, I'm still trying to digest the data that came out. Okay, it's a full house at the floor.
Yes, sir.
What's happening? I'm seeing some people there.
Yes, we have some of our FS Bootcamp students.
Oh, because I'm like, okay. All right, fantastic. So, good to have you all. So I'm still thinking long term that this first move to the downside, even though the BOJ came out with nothing concrete, that they are not averse to rate change. They said a lot but didn't say anything. So I'm trying to see how the market will digest that, and it's looking like the market is digesting into the downside. So yes, this morning's move, you can see that if you look at the GBP JPY, we see the Asian session. Yes. And you see the Asia range, the high and the low. The high and the low at 890 levels. So we expect price to go back in. You can still see that same schematic where it did the first shoulder, then the liquidity sweep to the upside, then it broke structure to the downside, then it formed fair value gap and formed another left shoulder, which also had a liquidity grab, which also broke structure violently to the downside, clearing the low of Asia. So that IOFED below, exactly, there's a fair value gap to the upside, there's a fair value gap to the downside. So anything between that 188.45 to 55 levels, I'm happy to sell. So that's what I'm looking at, the trade for today. 188 spot, between 188 spot 45 and 188 spot 55. I want to see price tap back into that, and then I'm happy to sell. All right, so that's the trade I'm looking at, either today or tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to add sentiment to this. Let's see this on the 1 hour. Let's see this on the 1 hour. All right. Okay. So even looking at this on the 1 hour, you can see that it has formed liquidity. There's a triple bottom. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. Exactly. So there's liquidity there. And it hasn't grabbed that liquidity. And it can still go back to the shoulder. So all in all, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at to take my sell. Yes, exactly. And we know where we expect it to exactly. So now I'm just going to be looking at my pound flow and my yen basket to see where there will be a great opportunity for, and my IMFSDR for price to sell. So let's check FinViz and see what GBP is doing across board generally. Okay. Okay. So you can see why the pound is still strong, yen is below. So I'm still trying to see how the currency strength plays out. How the currency strength plays out. But I still want to sell GBP JPY if the pound weakens. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So you can see what's happening gradually. So I need to see GBP JPY flip. I need to see it flip. So that JPY, I need to see it go up. GBP is selling, but JPY too is selling. So there's a problem there. So watching this and watching yen, let's see the yen index and see what the yen index wants to do. And so that's the trade for today. I've been waiting for this trade. I've been waiting for this trade because I want to get some good pips. Okay. All right. So do you see what's happening here too?
Yeah.
Can we see our box, shoulder, grab of liquidity, break of structure to the upside. So sell GBP JPY as it moves higher and higher and higher. I'm getting ready to sell. Any rally on GBP JPY, I'm getting ready to sell with a stop loss of about 15, 20 pips and a take profit of not less than 60, 70 pips. All right. If that move fails, I'll watch it between tomorrow and next tomorrow. I'll try to go for it again. So that's the trade I'm looking at now across board. All right. So that's basically it. Any question for me? How many of you, by doing this thing, are understanding the box schematic that we used to enter? How many people have a better understanding of the box and have questions with regard to shoulder sweep, break of liquidity sweep? Moyo, sorry, is it helpful? Is it helpful though? There's nothing like respect in trading. No, if you are not understanding and it's not making sense, say it. Trading is not by how long you've been in the market. It's about how you know what you are looking for in the market. Any questions? All right, fantastic. So for this TDA, we'll be really looking at box. You're not fully understanding the entry strategy. Okay. The entry strategy basically is simple. We want to see a shoulder. We want to see is what they call head and shoulders, but it's not really head and shoulders. You want to see a shoulder, then you want to see a grab of liquidity above that shoulder, then it breaks structure to the downside, forming fair value gaps, forming inefficiency, and it goes back into that fair value gap to tap into it and to drop down. Okay, let's show you this now on GBP JPY. Laker, please, let's go back because of Jerome, and let's just quickly show. Let's just quickly show what we are looking at on GBP JPY. And it happens on different time frames. So here we have it on on the daily, let's see if we can start. Okay, this is fine. This is fine, Leko. This works. Thank you. When you see a chart like this, if you are planning to sell, you want to look at all the previous highs. So where is a high there? That's a high, exactly. When you identify the high, that first high you identify is called a shoulder. Jerome, do you understand so far? A shoulder. Because you can circle around it so he knows what we're looking at. Go around ahead, just keep going, move your cursor around it. Move your cursor around it. The shoulder. That's the shoulder there, exactly. That's the shoulder there. Then we want to see price break that shoulder and form a higher high. Then come back into the range that it just broke out of. That shows that that's a liquidity grab. It has grabbed liquidity. And as it comes back into that range, we want to see it break structure. It should break the structure of the shoulder and break the structure of the liquidity grab. And as it's breaking it, we want to see it move fast. If it's moving slowly, there's no momentum there. It must move fast and give inefficiency. It should cause gaps. Then we want to see price return to the region of that gap, which will also be a region of premium. And then we want to see price move to the downside. That schematic is what we are focused on in this market color TDA. All right? Jerome, do you understand? Shoulder, sweep, BOS with inefficiency back into the inefficiency of the fair value gap. And then you look for that same schematic. So let's look for this schematic now on a lower time frame, maybe 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. So now we want price to go back to those places that Leko has marked as his point of interest, the places we are looking out for. So around those places, 188.45, we want to see the same schematic play out again. The same schematic, we want to see it play out. Okay, Leko, go to around between 7 o'clock and 7:30 a.m. You can zoom in so that I can quickly show you this and then move back. So do you see that? Zoom in some more. The same schematic. Zoom in some more. That's the shoulder there, around 7:15. Do you see the shoulder? Then do you see the grab of liquidity? How do you know it's a grab of liquidity? It went out, grabbed the liquidity, then came back in violently. Right? Then, start with this one, sir. This is the free one. Then, it now broke down, cleared both the origin of the liquidity and the shoulder, and formed the fair value gap. You see the fair value gap? Around 7:30 something. That's the fair value gap. And then what did it now do? It went back into the fair value gap, formed twin tower resistance, and all the way to the downside. Just focus on this schematic. You don't need many things. Like I said, the person, I've known about this schematic, but the person that I saw that used it to make a lot of money, I paid him about ₦1 million, not about ₦1 million to just show me this and how he uses it. I've been seeing it since, but I saw him use it consistently. That's all it does. 1:3 risk to reward ratio. The guy has relocated to Qatar. What's twin tower resistance? Enroll for our training. Twin tower resistance, twin tower support. Help our ministry. Enroll for our training. All right? Those are just additional filters to time the entries. But this is really all you need. All right, over to you guys back at the floor. So this thing that happened here, I want to see it happen again around 188.40 levels. 188.45 levels, and I'll take my trade. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Over to you. Cheers. God bless.
Right, sir. Thank you very much,
Guys at the floor, please check out Western Nakamura for his commentary on Japanese. Does it always have a shoulder sweep BOS and return? Not always. Sometimes it sweeps liquidity and just goes straight down. But there are filters we put. We want to see it after grabbing liquidity. We want to see it create liquidity again, and want to see it mitigate liquidity again. All right. So if you see shoulder, liquidity grab, another shoulder, another liquidity grab, you know that price is trying to form some sort of entry signature. All right, then. God bless you. Over to you guys. Cheers.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, sure, we should find out about his commentary on the news. Yeah. All right, guys. This would be the end of today's TDA, and our ATM cash flow training is starting on Wednesday. If you still want to enroll, this will be the last opportunity for you to do that, because the registration will be closing today by 3 p.m. Please make sure you enroll so that you learn how to trade synthetic and also have clear view of that market. And we also have our FS Bootcamp. We have it currently. FS Bootcamp is going for 125,000 Naira. You can enroll for that too. It helps you to understand the markets very well. And we have the value flow models that gives you in-depth view of what is going on your own pair. You know, you have to have a particular pair you trade. You have to be very, very specific. So we have value flow models for every of our major pairs. So anyone you choose, be it precious metal, be it dollar, be it JPY, be it GBP, anyone you choose, we have the value flow model that gives you the in-depth view of that particular market. You get it now? So we'll be expecting you to reach out to us on any of our social media handle. Our phones are there on WhatsApp, on Instagram. You get to see everything well. Get to see everything well there. And at the same time, we have our account management, which we use if you have a prop firm account that is up to $100,000, we can help you to pass it, and at the same time help you to trade it with our EA. Get the point now, and we have the best for you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow morning. We're going to see our phone number where you can message us here at Value Flow in the chat box. Just reach out to us for more information. Yes, that's it. Reach out to us for more information. You are going to get everything you want from Value Flow through that WhatsApp number, and also our social media handles too are also there. We look forward to having you on board. Thank you. Cheers, and God bless you tomorrow morning.